Donald Trump just totally backstabbed the Republican Party in the name of his own vanity, and a warning to any GOP politicians running at any level in this year's coming midterms: call your undertaker now. Donald Trump is about to massacre every Republican campaign. This is the David Reddish Show. Welcome to Occupy Democrats and the David Reddish Show. Real quick before we start, Occupy Democrats viewers, please subscribe to my new channel now. You'll get all the breaking news out of Washington delivered with my trademark wit. Also, if you like the new desk, follow the link in the description to SUNBEAM Vintage. They ship nationwide and offer a remarkable selection of Art Deco, mid-century modern, and other vintage furniture. And what can I say? I prefer real wood to the substitute. After all, I'm gay. Moving on. Donald Trump is facing plummeting approval ratings in recent weeks, especially given the violence perpetrated by ICE agents in Minneapolis and his catastrophic appearance in Davos earlier this week. I mean, under what circumstance would anyone find this appealing?
But in doing it, I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right, last time?
And for the record, he meant to talk about Greenland, not Iceland, though I hear the people of Iceland now fear an invasion. But look, Trump won't invade either country. This is all one big distraction. See our other videos here on Occupy Democrats and the David Reddish Show channel for more on all of that. And if you think that was humiliating to both Trump and Republicans, well, it gets worse. Sit tight. Trump, of course, loves the spotlight more than anything else. In fact, that is likely the only reason he wanted to be president anyway. He also continues to deny that Americans loathe him or that his agenda is a total failure. Take a look at this latest hissy fit.
A brand new New York Times poll shows his approval rating is down to 34% with independent voters. 52% say the country is worse off than it was when he took office a year ago. The president slammed both the paper and the poll, writing, quote, "The Times Siena poll, which is always tremendously negative to me, especially just before the election of 2024, where I won by a landslide, will be added to my lawsuit against the failing New York Times."
And yes, it still gets worse. Despite his tanking approval ratings, hostility from foreign leaders and Congress, including Republicans, Trump has announced that he now intends to begin a nationwide campaign tour, campaigning for Republicans ahead of the midterms this fall. That's a bit of an odd move considering the elections are still months away and, as both Trump and a litany of other unpopular presidents have proven over the years, the more Trump involves himself with the midterms, the more he makes these elections all about him and ties candidates at all levels to his administration, and the more likely they are to lose. This morning, MS Now ran a segment explaining why and how this could spell doom for Republicans in the House, the Senate, and even at the local level. Take a look.
President Trump is heading to Iowa next week, the beginning of what the White House says will be weekly trips across the country to ramp up enthusiasm ahead of the midterms. Joining me now, Sarah Matthews, former Trump White House Deputy Press Secretary, now spokesperson for Home of the Brave. Here in studio, Yasmin Raji, the Executive Director of the progressive political group Swing Left. It's great to have both of you here. Sarah, I mean, traditionally, when a president is unpopular, members of his party actually don't want him to come visit. I mean, we saw that with Joe Biden, who's not alone in that. But are there places you think we're sending Trump might be useful for Republicans, or should he just stay home?
I would tend to think right now that having him out on the campaign trail is probably music to Democrats' ears. I think that normally in past election cycles, when Trump hasn't been on the ballot, it has been useful for Republicans to have him out there. He's able to excite the base and get low propensity voters out to the polls, even when he is not on the ballot. But the thing is that heading into the 2026 midterms, even though Trump is not on the ballot, his policies will be, and proven to be very unpopular, as we've seen in this polling and other polling as well, that typically when it comes to economy and immigration, those are two of his top issues, and he is now tanking on those issues. And so if I'm a Republican running in the 2026 midterms, I probably don't want to be campaigning with Trump, because I think that it would be tough to explain to voters when Trump is out there giving speeches saying that we've defeated inflation and that the economy is great. How do you square that circle with voters who are not experiencing those things?
It's pathetic, isn't it? This is how much of a narcissist this man is. In fact, I will take that one step further. We always hear how world leaders come with a hearty helping of narcissism, but Trump takes it to a whole new level. He suffers, in my observation, from what psychiatrists call main character syndrome. That's an extreme level of narcissism where someone, like Donald Trump, thinks the entire world is his story, and everyone around him is only there to facilitate that story. How else to explain why Trump's #1 quality to look for in cabinet members is how good they perform on television? How else to explain why he wants to rename everything to include his name? Why else does he talk about reviews and ratings for his speeches and how acclaimed they all are? Trump is trying to trap us all in his ongoing reality show, but thankfully, he looks more like he's about to doom himself and the Republican Party to swift cancellation. Needless to say, subscribe to both Occupy Democrats and The David Reddish Show to stay up to date on Trump's calamity tour, the upcoming midterms, and all other breaking news. I'm David Reddish.